Hits, ATL, St. Louis, Alabama, Chicago, the Carolinas, DC, Bay Area, Miami, New York, Vegas, Texas. Y'all niggas can't fuck up my niggas home. 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 Motherfuck that nigga, motherfuck that bitch. 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 Y'all niggas more flexing that, flaunting that.
Yeah, no, man. You already know exactly what time it is. We're back at a Search Some More Game on the Ground from Hunger Hound. So just got up the pound and are ready for the next round. So with that being said, make sure y'all grab your snacks, y'all drinks, y'all weed, whatever the fuck the case may be. Trump 2024, that's 100% facts, man. We ride the Trump train all the way, man. They desperate, man. They really desperate. Y'all can see kind of off to the side. I got my American flag right there in the background. You know, it's kind of covered up by my chair, but it is what it is. It's still showing, so I don't give a fuck, man. They're trying to kill your boy Trump. And I'm curious to see what Candace Owens has to say about it. He said it was an inside job, man. It's not a doubt that it was an inside job. You already know what happens when the Matrix, when somebody as big as Trump or the T brothers, when there's people as big as them that go straight up against the Matrix, you already know what they try to do, man. They try to silence them, and if that doesn't work, they try to throw them in jail, and if that doesn't work, and then they just straight up try to kill them. And it's a damn shame. But that's what the Matrix does, and that's the type of evil that we're up against every single day, which is why it's important that we have the right people in office, in leadership positions to do the right job. Your boy Trump is still kicking it. He's still alive. He's still doing what he's supposed to do. He's still flexing on them haters, man. He was out there playing golf. He hit the ball into the hole, and he said, "See, the difference between me and the shooter is I don't miss." Your boy Trump is savage like that. That's just how he's built. He's built different. So with that being said, man, let me go ahead and get this shit pulled up real quick. Boom, just like so. Go ahead and take this out. Bam, just like that. All right. So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and jump into this shit, man. We rocking with Trump all the way. In 3, 2, 1, let's get it.
Where do we even begin? Well, let's begin actually where we left off last night. Last night, we were essentially told not to believe our own eyes. Well, since then, guys, the FBI has come out and they have confirmed, thank goodness they confirmed, that yes, Trump survived an assassination attempt. Because in case you missed it, Joe Biden came out, gave us 2 minutes, and he communicated that they weren't sure whether or not it was an assassination attempt. They were waiting for facts. So let's not rush. Let's not rush to any conclusions. And that is the perfect place to start, you guys, because that's where we are at right now in our society. That final instruction, not to believe your own eyes, not to believe your own ears, to wait until the authoritarians come out and tell you what is real. That's
the fact that it was in plain sight. They tried to shoot him. And this fool turns around and says that he's not sure if it was an assassination attempt. Boy, it's right there in front of your damn face. If you're saying that you ain't believing it until the news confirms it, or you ain't believing it until the FBI confirms it, you're a retard. Like, straight up, bro. You are infected inside and out with the retardation syndrome, if that's what the fuck you believe. Like, for real, bro. Come on now.
That's actually where we are, specifically in Western society. People go with that. I will guarantee you that a part of the population went to sleep last night and said, we don't know if it's an assassination attempt yet. We should wait to find out. We should wait until our government confirms. We should wait until the FBI, the most corrupt government organization that's plausibly ever existed, lets us know that it was, in fact, a failed assassination attempt. Well, guys, as I said, it has been confirmed. Another far-right conspiracy theory has come true. Wait, we'll get to the headlines. They were making fun of Tucker when he said this. Tucker's pushing this conspiracy theory that Donald Trump may be assassinated. I don't know why he would say such a thing. Well, constant headlines because he's been under attack ever since he's been free. It's almost every day now. They just keep attacking Tucker. They keep attacking me, keep attacking every person who's coming to you and saying something very evil is going on. People that have the courage to call what we are seeing, right? And I have been saying it. They are going to try to kill Donald Trump. Donald Trump better choose his vice president very carefully, because if they suspect the person he has selected is someone that they can control, someone like a Nikki Haley, there is no reason that they would allow him to live. And some people don't want to deal with that. They don't want to deal with the reality of how evil our institutions are. But guess what? The time for fear is over. You have to face this reality because it's the only way that we're going to be able to move forward. And one of the things that we're going to do here is we're going to name the shooter. I know there's a lot of organizations and companies that say we shouldn't do that because that's what they want. You know, they want to be known. They want their name to be remembered. Let me tell you something. I not only want this person's name when this stuff happens, I want to know everything about that individual. I want to know what they ate for breakfast, because we have to confront evil. I want to know what sports they were involved in. I want to know who their friends were. I want to know the last message they sent. I want to know who their parents are. I want to know what their parents do for a living. And especially want to know whether or not their parents have had anything to do with the United States government.
That's a fact.
That detail is very crucial. I want to know what drugs those individuals are on. That's the one thing they never tell you. Which pharmaceutical drugs are these shooters, all of them in the past, and this current shooter, are they on? Because it tends being that, seems to be the case, that so many of them are suffering from mental illness and are on drugs, but we're not allowed to have that conversation. Well, today we are going to have that conversation. I'm going to tell you why Big Pharma is all.
It's not that they're on drugs. They're demon-possessed individuals that are infected with the retardation syndrome to the point to where they go and crash out, which is wild. Like, come on now, bro. And then, not quite sure if it's true or not. I feel like it is, because with the Matrix being the way it is, it seems like something that would happen. But there was a picture, and there was also, I believe there was, I don't know if there was a video. I'm pretty sure there was. I'll have to see if I can find it again. Of a Secret Service agent with a fucking sniper on a roof aimed right at the gunman. And wasn't taking no shot, because he was saying that they wouldn't let him take the shot until after the gunman fired first. And then they told him to take the shot. So, with the Matrix being the way it is, I would not be surprised if it's real. It more than likely probably is, because they hate this man so much that they will do anything and everything that they possibly can to get rid of him. Which is just fucking wild. Like, come on now, bro.
Always the most important part of the equation. So first, let's recap, guys. Let's get into this. Obviously, everybody by now has seen this footage. We're going to show it to you again just to recap the events quickly here. Last night, while Trump was speaking in Butler, Pennsylvania, shots rang out. I counted about 8 to 10 shots. You guys can count here. We are going to show you again how exactly and when exactly that went down. Take a look.
We see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Now, to be clear, a lot of people have pointed this out. Brandon Tatum, another fellow commentator, pointed out that Trump turning his head may have saved his life. Right,
That's
because we know that his ear was clipped. I know there have been conflicting reports yesterday as information was coming out. Some people were saying that his ear got clipped by glass from the teleprompter. Trump himself has said that he was shot in the ear. And if we have more up-to-date information or if that transforms, we will let you know. But he turned his head, and gratefully, it looks like only his ear was grazed throughout this incident. And beyond that, in a moment that we will never forget, of course, Trump stopped the Secret Service from sweeping him off stage so that he could stop and signal to the American people, in all of his confusion and all of his craziness, having just survived an assassination attempt. It was his priority to signal to the American people that it was going to be okay. Take a look at Trump.
No.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's just incredible. That will give me chills forever to realize that. I don't think you understand what sort of a strength that takes. I would be so terrified in that moment. I would be sprinting off stage, and he's feeling blood coming down his neck. He's feeling blood. He realizes that he's been shot in the ear, and he goes, wait, wait, wait. Because what's more important is that the American people know that we are going to fight and we're going to win. And unbelievably, he says, fight, fight, fight. We're going to show you later. The news agencies, rather than reporting on this in a respectable manner, have said, he shouldn't have said fight, fight, fight. No, he shouldn't have said that. That is the real crime here. Not that he just survived an assassination attempt from another Looney Tune, but the fact he said fight, 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 because I don't know, maybe that could have led to another insurrection. Anyways, you guys, I want to show you this close-up of his ear because that has been made available. Do we have that, guys? This is a close-up of Trump's ear. I think that we just showed that again. And more importantly, this was drawn up by the Daily Mail, a map of the stadium. If you are watching this, take a look at this. This is unbelievable. And by unbelievable, I mean you should not believe it. Look at the lower half of the screen here where it says 4, okay? Yes, the shooter's name is Thomas Matthew Crooks. I'm going to tell you all about him momentarily. But it is showing you on this map where he was, okay? Where he was, where the Secret Service sniper was, and where Trump was standing. To be clear, just 150 yards away from the stage. A direct line of eyesight to the Secret Service sniper, okay? Like I said, this is unbelievable. Looking at this map, it is unbelievable because it should not be believed. You should not believe that all of this happened because of a remarkable failure in intelligence. I refuse to believe that. I'm not going to be deluded by anybody's press conference. I'm not going to be deluded by the insistence from all of these media mockingbirds that all of this happened because it was just a remarkable failure in intelligence is what they always tell us. No, I don't believe that because I know better. I know the kind of evil that we are fighting, and we're going to get to all parts of that. So let's first jump into everything we know about the shooter. The shooter has been identified.
No, that's 100% facts. And there's people out there saying, oh, this shit was staged. Oh, he did this to try and get votes for the election. Oh, he did this and he did that and it wasn't real. Man, tell that shit to the families who lost 2 people who died because the shooter was just the shooter was there and shot 2 other fucking people trying to kill Trump. Tell that shit to those families, bro. And then tell me what the hell they say. And then tell me, go tell Trump that shit was staged. That boy is liable to fucking knock your ass out right there. And then if you tell him that shit was staged, the families who lost their loved ones, they're liable to shoot your ass in the face if you walk up to them and tell them that shit was staged. Ain't nothing staged about people dying and losing their lives and trying to assassinate somebody. Ain't nothing staged about that. Like, come on now, bro. Like, if you believe that shit was staged, you're fucking retarded to the next max level.
Identified again as an individual named Thomas Matthew Crooks. Last name, I guess, appropriate in this scenario. And of course, the first thing that people are saying is that he looks like a soy boy. And you know what? I'm sort of recognizing this as a theme. Why do all of these shooters look alike? They have the same look in their eye. Do you know what I'm talking about? They all look like the would-be shooter in all of these situations. And I'm talking about in the past, school shooting situations. They all have a certain look. So can we throw up a photo of, here's Thomas Matthew Crooks. Okay, this looks like a school picture of some description. And I swear I've seen this person over and over again in other school shooting scenarios. I'm thinking mainly, by the way, of a Connecticut shooting situation, because that's where I'm from. And they just all have a similar look in their eyes, in my viewpoint. Now, guys, you're not going to believe this. Here's what they're trying to actually sell to us. This is really what they're going with, because, of course, they need to fashion this so it doesn't look like leftist violence. They're saying he was a registered Republican. Yeah, people are making jokes. A Republican tried to take down Donald Trump. Now, is that true? Is that true? Was he a registered Republican? Was this a person, a conservative? Well, I'll let you decide after I put together a picture for how he lived the last couple of years of his life. So to be clear, Thomas Matthew Crooks had never voted in a presidential election, had never voted ever in his life, because he only just turned 18 2 years ago. So what we do know about him is that just before he turned 18, and this is in 2021, when he was just 17 years old, he decided to, on Biden's inauguration day, to make a donation via Act Blue. You guys know that political action committee that left political action committee that raises money for left-leaning politicians. Yes, he decided to make a donation to Act Blue, just $15. That is a fact.
You would think that if this is the cover story that they're going with, they would have erased all the evidence that stands against their quote unquote story that they're running with. Like they can't be this retarded. They can't be this fucking retarded, bro. Either they really are that retarded, or there's something else bigger at play behind the scenes still that we don't know about yet. Obviously, they're going to continue to try and do it again, maybe in a different fashion. But I refuse to believe that they're that retarded as to leave all of the evidence that stands against their fucking story out there for people to find. There's got to be something else at play as well, because the Matrix is ran by very smart people who know how to stay 10, 20 steps ahead of everybody else. So there's no way in hell that they're that retarded. I don't believe it.
By the way, that has been confirmed by the Federal Election Commission filing. So the donation was earmarked for the Progressive Turnout Project, which was a national group that rallies Democrats to vote, and they were obviously working on getting Joe Biden elected. Okay, so this person, factually speaking, in 2021 was a Biden supporter. Now, strangely, later that same year, he decided to register as a Republican upon turning 18. Those facts make sense to you? Do those facts align now that we know that he then decides to try to assassinate President Trump, that he was financially supporting Biden, he was putting together a plan to assassinate President Trump, and they are going to try to convince us that he was a Republican? Nope, that seems too perfect. Now, they have reached out to family members in the Crooks family. He graduated, Thomas Crooks graduated in 2022 from Bethel Park High School. His uncle, Daily Mail was able to get in touch with him. His name is Mark Crooks.
This dude looks like somebody who was in the process of trying to figure out whether they should transition all the way over to the Decepticons and was just like stuck in between and then just completely lost his fucking mind. That's what this dude looks like.
Said that he has not seen his nephew or his nephew's parents in years. He describes them as quote unquote, very private. I don't like that. I don't like that a family member, an uncle, would not be in touch with his own brother or his own sister. I'm assuming here, since he has the same last name, but it's his brother, in years. That instead of being in touch with him, he just knows that they're extremely private. Up to what? What is it about this family that we don't know? He said, quote, "I haven't seen that part of my family in years." Again, this is Mark Crooks, the uncle to the shooter, Thomas Matthew Crooks. He continued, "Honestly, it's been so long, I don't think much about them." Okay? He says, "It's a shame. The kid is like a stranger to me. They're private and they don't reach out to anybody anytime. I'm flagging that as immediately odd, extremely odd." Now, during the attack, despite the fact that we know that he not only supported Biden by making a donation of $15 via Act Blue, but also he supported him by trying to take out, via an assassination attempt, Donald J. Trump. It appeared that he was wearing merchandise during the assassination attempt, promoting YouTube's most popular channels that are devoted to firearms, a channel known as Demolition Ranch. That's what NBC News is reporting, that he decided to wear that day a Demolition Ranch, I don't know if it's a t-shirt, I don't know if he was wearing a sweatshirt, but it is one of the most popular channels devoted to firearms. That does not seem almost too perfect. Almost seems like he's just giving them a narrative there of like, oh, people that like firearms are bad and they're crazy and they're backwards. Now, his father, Matthew Crooks, 53 years old, has spoken to CNN, and he said that he was trying to figure out, quote, "what the hell is going on?" He was going to wait until, quote, "I talked to law enforcement before speaking out publicly." Now, what that signals to me immediately is that this family is not Republican, because a Republican family would not answer or give a quotation to CNN. That is a fact. Trump supporters would not, under any search situation, would they accept a phone call from CNN and offer them a quote, least of all saying that I'm going to wait until I talk to law enforcement before speaking, primarily because we have lost a lot of faith in law enforcement. We don't trust the FBI. We don't trust the FBI to tell the truth. So again, I am flagging the family as immediately suspicious. Everything going on here is immediately suspicious. What have we learned since last night? Because a lot of stuff was coming in. We got some stuff wrong. I think we got the majority of the stuff right. But what we did learn, unfortunately, is that a member of the crowd was in fact killed in a deadly shooting while 2 others were wounded and are in critical condition. Last night, we thought it was just 2 people that were shot. It turns out it's a total of 3. One of them is dead, has lost his life. 2 of them are in critical condition and they have been wounded. All 3 of them are males, according to law enforcement officials. I hope that all of you take the time today to pray for all of these families, because while so many of us are obviously very happy that Donald Trump survived this assassination attempt, we should not forget, we should not lose ourselves. We should also recognize that last night, there are people that lost their family members, that they are dealing with that reality today, that 3 men went to support Donald Trump, the Republican nominee, and they are now 2 of them in critical condition. 1 of them is dead. That is absolutely awful. And again, I did give up my prayers today at Mass. We also learned that last night a bomb squad and agents from the Bureau of Alcohol and Tobacco, Firearms, the ATF obviously, were at an address that was registered to the Crooks as the cops stood guard in front of yellow police caution tape. And as an update, everybody was expecting Donald J. Trump to arrive at the UFC fight. He did not. He actually landed back in New York, where he lives, in, I believe it's Bedford, where he lives. And I'm sure that he is processing a lot of emotions right now. I'm sure maybe in the back of his mind, he never thought that it would get this bad. Maybe he didn't take people literally. Maybe he himself thought it was a conspiracy, the idea that they would shoot him in broad daylight. But maybe he did question whether or not they would ever get that desperate to do what they did to JFK, because our government killed JFK. That's the reality that no one will say to you because nobody has any courage anymore. Everybody lives in fear. Our government murdered a Catholic president, John F. Kennedy. He was shot and killed in broad daylight. Maybe Trump thought, hey, that's the 60s. They could never do something like that today. They could never be so bold as to do something like that today. People got smartphones. People could put together the narrative faster than the mainstream media mockingbirds. And last night, he learned that he was wrong. You know, this is a good time to pause.
I think Trump is smart to know that eventually they would try something like that. I don't know if he thought that they would try it so soon. Seeing as how, you know, obviously they killed JFK. They tried to kill Reagan too, I believe. And now they try to kill Trump. And it's just like, man, it's fucking wild. But just imagine if the scripts were flipped and it was Joe Biden standing on that fucking stage and somebody took a shot at him. They wouldn't have even allowed the sniper to get up on the roof in the first place. They would have had the whole place secured. They would have had every Secret Service agent known to mankind around the fucking stadium. Had every single building secured, every rooftop secured, every entrance secured. They would have had everything blocked off. That's the world that we live in. Double standards is a very real thing. So we can't lose Elon or Trump. That's a fact. Double standards is a very real thing. And if you still don't believe in it, you are blind, you are deaf, you are dumb, and you are retarded if you still don't believe that double standards exist after this shit.
And also to reflect on the fact that Donald Trump, when he got into office, he accessed the JFK files because obviously it's been a mystery for decades. Who shot JFK? Oh no, it's all locked down. Trust the Warren Commission report. And whatever he saw scared him. It scared him. He didn't want to talk about it anymore. He recognized a real danger that actually scared him when he opened those files. He said, when I get in and become president, I'm going to tell you who shot JFK. And then he didn't tell us who shot JFK. Maybe because the implications were too heavy, but the American people already know who shot JFK. Our deep state.
He said, isn't it kind of interesting how Trump being shot, getting back up, kind of has a striking correlation to Bible Antichrist description? Kind of like the deep state trying to speed run revelations. But the Bible says that the Antichrist will suffer a fatal blow and with demonic power deceive people to believe that he was risen again. Trump didn't suffer a fatal blow, but I get what you mean. But I don't think that it was super. I don't think it super correlates with it. But I get how you could think that, though.
Shot JFK. That is the reality. And there's much more to that reality, by the way. We're going to talk about that later because there's more updates that have come out. Obviously, everybody is going, what the heck is going on with this Secret Service? Okay. You're supposed to tell me that this is supposed to be the most intelligent, the most prepared security apparatus in the world, right? And they failed. They failed to secure the premises. They failed to even secure 150 yards away from where Donald J. Trump was speaking. Do we believe that? Are we supposed to believe that? Well, don't be a conspiracy theorist, guys. No, actually, be a conspiracy theorist, because the conspiracy theorists are telling you the truth. What they are trying to tell you is that common sense is a conspiracy now. Common sense is not a conspiracy. Common sense tells you that something else went on here, that this was coordinated, that people knew what was going to happen, and that common sense, if you were already sensing that that could be a reality, it was all but confirmed. All but confirmed when a bystander, who I'm going to show you right now, basically said, I was flagging my hands. I was just shaking my hands in the air saying, hey, this guy's got a gun, this guy's got a gun, this guy's got a gun, and essentially being ignored by both the police and the Secret Service. I want you guys to take a listen to what this bystander had to say.
Someone who was here, you weren't inside the event,
nope,
but you were just outside. Tell us what you saw.
So we had a party here all day. You can see behind us at the Brinkles Farming Greenhouse here. We had a party, and we all decided, hey, you know, when we hear Trump up there, we're going to walk up through the field, stand by the trees out there under the shade, and watch and listen to the rally. Right? We couldn't see him, but we could hear him. So we walked up. And probably 5 to 7 minutes of Trump speaking. I'm estimating here. I have no idea, you know. But we noticed the guy crawling, bear crawling up the roof of the building beside us, 50 feet away from us. So we're standing there, and, you know, we're pointing at the guy crawling up the roof.
And he had a gun, right?
He had a rifle. We could clearly see him with a rifle. Absolutely. We're pointing at him. The police are down there running around on the ground. We're like, hey, man, there's a guy on the roof with a rifle. And the police were like, oh, what? You know, like they didn't know what was going on. You know, we're like, hey, right here on the roof. We can see him from right here. We see him. You know, he's crawling. And next thing you know, I'm thinking to myself, why is Trump still speaking? Why have they not pulled him off the stage? I'm standing there pointing at him for 2 or 3 minutes. Secret Service is looking at us from the top of the barn. I'm pointing at that roof, just standing there like this. And next thing you know, 5 shots rang out.
So you're certain that the shots came from that guy on the roof?
100%. 100%.
And he was up there for a couple of minutes.
He was up there.
You saw him up there for a couple of minutes.
Absolutely. At least 3 to 4 minutes.
And you were telling the police and the Secret Service?
We were telling the police. We were pointing at them for the Secret Service, who were looking at us from the top of the barn. They were looking at us the whole time when we were standing by that tree.
Could they see
binoculars?
Could they see him?
Probably not, because the roof, the way the slope went, he was behind where they could see. But why is there not Secret Service on all of these roofs here? I mean, this is not a big place.
Did you see, I mean, obviously everyone, when the shooting started, everyone was very panicked. Did you see what happened to him at all?
Oh yeah, they blew his head off.
Okay, sorry.
Secret Service blew his head off.
Okay, just be careful because we don't quite know who's watching, but you're pretty sure they shot the guy?
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay.
Yep.
You saw that happen?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And did you see them go up to him afterwards, or?
They crawled up on the roof. They had their guns pointed at him, make sure he was dead. He was dead, and that was it. It was over.
It's incredibly shocking.
The guy was on the roof right there. You can see the white roof right there.
Did you get a look at him? Could you?
No, other than he was in muted colors, tan type clothing. We saw the rifle flinging around as he was trying to crawl. I mean, we saw the rifle, 100%.
Do you know about guns? Do you know what kind of weapon it was?
Oh, I absolutely know about guns, for sure. Yeah, I mean, it was a rifle of some sort. I wouldn't know, I wasn't close enough to read the label on it, but,
sure.
it was a rifle of some sort. Yeah, absolutely.
So how do you process what you've just seen?
I don't know what to say, man. All I'll tell you is, if I walked up close to there with anything that Secret Service considered a problem, I wouldn't be standing here talking to you right now. But I don't know why a guy who we're standing there pointing out to police and Secret Service is crawling up the roof. Yes, right there by that tree. We were outside the security permit. But my question is, there's only a few buildings around here. Why is Secret Service not on every building here?
Well, there's a whole bunch of questions I think that are going to come.
There's a whole bunch of questions.
Yeah.
He is all of us. He didn't want to say it, but he did say it. This is fishy. Okay? This is not an accident. This isn't an intelligence failure. Okay? This was allowed to take place because they have wanted Trump out by any means necessary. And these are one of the means now. Okay? And I don't believe, by the way, this is going to be the last assassination attempt on Donald Trump. I don't believe that whatsoever, because I've been feeling it. I've had a feeling that things are growing more sinister because they're losing control. More people are starting to wake up. More people are starting to realize that all the things that they believed to be conspiracy theories in the past are in fact true. We are fighting real evil in this country. We're fighting real evil all over the world. And so the media is doing everything desperate to maintain control and to maintain order. And in their desperation, they are growing increasingly more violent, increasingly more sinister, increasingly more psychopathic. You guys, in 5 minutes, by the way, Joe Biden is going to join for some remarks, and we're going to cut to it so that we can watch that live. I first want to say the director of Secret Service is a woman named Kim Cheadle. Okay, and you already know what I'm going to say.
It would be a female too. That's all I got to say. It would be a female too.
Going to be the headline. Candace says that women shouldn't be pilots and women shouldn't be running a security apparatus. Let me show you this clip, by the way, of one of the way too many Secret Service female agents trying to holster her gun. Okay, this is from last night. This is actually a real footage from last night after the president of the United States, former president of the United States, Donald J. Trump, was almost assassinated. Take a look at this video.
They don't even know. They don't even look like they know what they're doing.
We can get out of this. No disrespect to the many women who are willing to lay down their lives, right? I have no disrespect. There are tons of women who can shoot guns, right? And shoot them very well. But when it comes to the responsibility of guarding the former president of the United States, we need men. Can we acknowledge reality? Are we allowed to acknowledge gender and sex and the natural biological proclivities of men versus women? Are we allowed to do that? Because guess what? I don't care whether I'm allowed to do it. I've been doing it the entire time. I want male pilots. I want male security guards. I want men back, okay? Men back doing male tasks that they are naturally inclined to do because of their body composition, because of the testosterone that is coursing through their veins. It impacts women differently than it impacts men. That adrenaline rush that we get something happens to a kid, I very much want there to be women there. When we are talking about guarding the life of President Donald J. Trump, the fact that there were so many women there is just unbelievable. And I'm going to show you, by the way, the director of Secret Service, Kim Cheadle, where her priorities were. You're not going to believe this, you guys. DEI. Yeah, she wanted to make sure, as the new director of Secret Service, that we were being diverse, equitable, and inclusive enough going forward. I'm going to show you this clip, and then we're going to probably have to cut to Joe Biden's remarks. Take a look at this.
To expand hiring, they're aiming to have 30% women recruits by 2030, and
She's
even
gotta be
allowed
kidding me.
YouTube influencer Michelle Carre to train with agents.
But I'm
We're
very
a
conscious, as I sit in this chair now, of making sure that we need to attract diverse candidates and ensure that we are.
This bitch needs to be fired ASAP. She don't got no business being the director of anything federal. That's 100% facts. Let alone being the manager of a fucking restaurant, bro. She needs to be at home in the kitchen. She needs to be in the kitchen at her home. She don't need to be in charge of nothing.
Are developing and giving opportunities to everybody in our workforce, and particularly women.
That workforce will be pivotal for the 2024 campaign season, which for the first time includes a former president who already has lifetime protection. Agents were there when Donald Trump was arraigned in New York.
We were able to work out the details ahead of time of how that particular day was going to go. But we will always ensure the safety of all of our protectees that we have.
The service has a zero-fail mission, a mission officers are training to uphold, pretending this field is the most famous address in America.
Okay, we can get out of this. We can get out of this, guys. I mean, I'm just like, ooh. When I say ooh, guess what? That punch would hurt less than if a man had done it. You want to know why? Because I'm a woman. I don't mind these women in roles if they're organizing the security apparatus. I think women are very good at organizing. We are naturally more organized, okay? I think that women do better when it comes to multitasking, as just one example. That's why there's the expression, if you want to get something done, hand it to a busy mom. Do you know what we're not good at? Being under pressure in situations that are life or death. Okay, that is not our natural proclivity. Now, if a kid's there, I've seen some incredible things. But when it comes to this sort of an operation, you're trying to strive to have majority women. Who do you think could win in a fight? Her or Trump? That's a problem, okay? We need strong men. We need strong men that are laser focused. The kind of men that run into buildings when Audrey Hale, who was the trans Tennessee shooter, storm into the building without second thought, put their lives on the line, and take her down in moments. While the women instinct, who do I protect? Okay, I've got to protect the kids. Men, I have to go out and fight the war, okay? It doesn't matter how much ideology, guys, is being forced down in the school system. The reality is that we have biological proclivities. Are there exceptions? Sure. We should not be dictating our society according to exceptions. We need to be dictating society according to the rules. And the rules are men are strong. Let men protect men. It is a joke to have women protecting men. That is a joke. Physically protecting men, that is a joke. Are we bringing in Biden? Is he preparing?
Still waiting.
We're still waiting for Biden. I'm sure he's napping. Now, what we can do is show you what Biden did last night, because this is really unbelievable. So the president of the United States, gaslighting the public, we don't know if it's an assassination attempt. He decided to speak for a total of 2 minutes and 20 seconds. And he gave us nothing last night. And I said, while we were live, I said, he's not coming back. He said, maybe I'll come back. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're not coming back tonight. You're not staying awake. You're going to bed. Because that is what is required of you, because obviously you don't have your senses about you. There's a lot of evidence that you are suffering from a degenerative Parkinson's disease. It's very obvious that you are suffering from dementia. We can tell by your gait that everybody's just lying to us, because this is the Truman Show, right? Everyone's just playing a part, pretending that Biden is not ill. So let's just cut to the clip of Biden last night, all that we got from him, before we jump into his live remarks today. Take a look at this.
Thanks for coming, folks. I've been thoroughly briefed by all the agencies in the federal government as to the situation, based on what we know now. I have tried to get a hold of Donald He's with his doctors. Apparently he's doing well. I plan on talking to them shortly, I hope, when I get back to the telephone. Look, there's no place in America for this kind of violence. It's sick. It's sick. It's one of the reasons why we have to unite this country. We cannot allow for this to be happening. We cannot be like this. We cannot condone this. And so I want to thank the Secret Service and all the agencies, including the state agencies, that have been engaged in making sure that people and we have more detail to come relative to other people maybe injured in the audience. I don't have all that detail. We'll make that available to you. I may be able to come back a little later tonight, but we'll put out a statement if I'm not able to if it's not convenient for you all. But the bottom line is that the Trump rally was a rally that he should have been able to be conducted peacefully without any problem. But the idea that there's political violence or violence in America like this is just not appropriate.
Yo, I can't, bro. I can't. I can't but fucking laugh every time this dude talks, bro. I can't. This dude is a walking, talking circus clown, bro. I can't take, bro. Anybody who takes him serious, you're fucking weird. Straight up. Anybody who takes Biden serious, you're fucking weird. I can't take him serious at all.
I mean, everybody must condemn it. Everybody. I'll keep you informed, and if I'm able to speak to Donald, I'll let you know that as well. So far, it appears he's doing well, number one. Number two, that they're thoroughly investigating what happened to anyone else in the audience. We have some reports, but not final reports. And every agency in the federal government, I'm going back to my phone to speak with the federal agencies that are being put together again to give me an updated briefing. Has anything happened? They learned any more in the last couple hours. So thank you very much, and I hope I get to speak to them tonight, and I'll get back to you if I do. Okay.
Mr. President, do you think this was an assassination attempt?
I don't know enough. I have an opinion, but I don't have any facts. So I want to make sure we have all the facts before I make any more comments. Thank you.
Are you worried, President, safety? With the security failing, Mr. President?
Let's play a game. If it wasn't an assassination attempt, what was it? It's just somebody target practice, didn't realize that it was a former sitting president that they were practicing as a target. Okay, what was it? 4th of July fireworks gone awry, taken off the ear. What was it? Seriously, when they say this stuff and they think we are this stupid, I am just wondering who at home is going, yeah, no, it could be something else going on here. All the shots running out. They knew by that time, by the way, as we did, because we were covering this live, that somebody had died. They knew that there was people on the ground already giving their testimony about how they ran to the side. Remember, we had that position. I'm going to show you him in a bit because I don't know how much time that we have until Biden's going to give his secondary remarks. But they knew that. They knew absolutely that this was a shooting. And of course, like I say, they are the real conspiracy theorists. Of course, it could not have been anything other than an assassination attempt. And yet he didn't give that. Instead, what did Biden say? I may be back later. No, you're not. Go to bed like you do the majority of the time. You are sleeping the majority of the time. The American people and the entire world are being played, okay? As I said, this is just a performance. All of this is performative. Biden is not in control. We know he's not in control. His cabinet is in control. The CIA is in control. Everything else, he is there as a puppet to make people believe in the illusion of democracy. And if you are still buying into the illusion of democracy, you need to wake up. So what do we have? Well, they say that today, Biden has since been in the Situation Room with the FBI Director Wray. Oh, that warms my heart. We really trust the FBI here. Not. Also the DHS Secretary Mayorkas. It's just a who's who of who we don't trust. The Secret Service Director Cheadle. Oh, I'm glad she's in there. I hope she's doing a good job of making there's enough the female voices. I hope she's checking in on the equity and the inclusion of the Situation Room. Are there enough Black people? Are there enough women? Do we have somebody who's handicapped? I just want to make sure everybody's included. That's what she's doing. That's what Kim Cheadle is doing there. Total waste of space. And then we have the National Security Advisor. Sullivan, all of these people who have lied routinely to the American people over the last 4 years are all now collaborating in a room together, probably a doctor there as well, giving Joe Biden a shot, some sort of an injection in his butt to keep him awake. That's what we have going on right now. And as we wait for that injection to kick in so we can go live to see what his follow-up remarks are, see if he can, just read the teleprompter without saying end quote. Yeah, that's what's going on right now. We are waiting for Joe Biden's drugs to kick in. Guys, I want to take a break really quickly because I do want to thank sponsors of this show. One of them you guys are already aware of. Well, first of all, I just want to thank you guys because last night we obviously went live. This was the first time that we did this. We were independent. I mean, my team ran in here last night. One of them was still soaking wet, having ran out of the shower. Another of them should have been arrested for how many red lights Mark here ran to get here. But we definitively got so much support on locals, people that went over to locals.com and actually supported the independence of the show. I want to thank you. I also want to thank Preborn. Obviously, they have stayed with me. And let me tell you guys, last year I said to my husband, I said, I only want to work with sponsors of this show that we know are being moved like we are being moved, that we recognize this is evil, that are going to withstand cancel culture. They're trying to cancel me. They're trying to cancel Tucker Carlson. They know the people that are speaking to the American people freely. Okay, because we know the conspiracies are real. We know the threats that surrounds us is the government. And Preborn, they stuck with me. We know what they are doing. They're saving lives. They are saving the lives of the infants, the most vulnerable people in this country. And they operate on a very slim budget. They rescue over 200 babies' lives every day. They're up against Planned Parenthood. They have no government funding. Their network of clinics are situated in the darkest corners of the nation. They compete head-to-head with all of the abortion giants, and they need our help now more than ever. So if you are thinking about who to donate to, when you donate just $28 to Preborn, they offer a free ultrasound to an expectant mother that's caught in a crisis because they know that once that mother hears the heartbeat of her baby, that precious life has a chance at life. It doubles. That baby's chance at life literally doubles. So please sponsor a precious baby's life. Your tax-deductible gift will go directly toward saving babies' lives. Just dial pound 250 and say the keyword baby. Again, that's pound 250. Or you can go to preborn.com/Candace. That's preborn.com/Candace. Okay, guys. Now, as Biden, I guess we're still waiting on him. We're still waiting on Joe Biden, guys. So in the meantime, I'd like to get to some of the reactions, the most horrific reactions ever, because while everyone was going, this is a time for unity, I was going, spare me last night. Spare me. We know what they're thinking. We know the left is celebrating. We know that the tweets they were sending in the instant were obligatory to say, this is a terrible thing that happened. And in reality, I said, and I hate to be a cynic, that some of them were thinking, man, it's unfortunate that shooter missed. That's the reality. I said, they're thinking in their heads that it is unfortunate that Trump survived. Well, guess what? Some of them just went ahead and said that out loud. Are you guys familiar with this streamer Destiny at all? Destiny?
Oh,
I had a
hell no.
debate with him because all of a sudden it felt like everyone was doing the rounds on Destiny's show. I'd never heard of him. He's some game streamer. I don't know. And I actually went onto his stream service, whatever his stream show is. And the first thing I said to my husband was, there's a darkness in this person. I'm a gut player. I said, this is what it feels like to me. Like he's got some very bizarre, and again, this was me, an opinion, weird sexual interest, and that he's being blackmailed. I said this to my husband. I did. Now, I want to be clear. That's my opinion. That is not a fact. But I'm going to show you what Destiny, who I believe to be a pervert, for some reason, and I'm a gut player, I felt that he was a pervert and I wanted nothing to do with him. Here's what he tweeted last night. I'm going to show you just that one on the right there. If we learned anything today, I hope it's realizing the importance of principles I've stressed many times on stream before. Having a firearm means absolutely nothing if you don't spend time at the range practicing with it. He actually, this is a person who's had tons of huge commentators on his show. Okay. He is just disgusting. Disgusting. He said, oh, I'm sorry. He didn't feel bad about it. People were calling him out on how despicable it was to endorse the violence, to be wishing that the person had better aim. He said, oh, I'm sorry. What happened to 1776? Was that a peaceful protest? He's essentially saying, no, we should be trying to kill people. Okay? There's nothing wrong with the fact, he is saying, how disturbing is this? There's nothing wrong with the fact that this shooter tried to kill Trump. The only problem here is that he missed. That's what Destiny is saying. And he does not care. He said this proudly. He is calling for this openly on X. And his excuse for it, as he says in the bottom corner there, is maybe it's a result of him repeatedly acting like a dictator instead. I will say I was worried for a minute about what would happen to Biden if he ordered this, but then I remembered, thank God conservatives all agree the president has absolute criminal immunity when acting as his role as commander-in-chief. So what he is saying is, even if this order came from Biden himself, it doesn't matter because he's acting in the role of commander-in-chief. So if he commands his troops to kill the Republican nominee, Destiny is saying, I don't have a problem with that. Absolutely sickening. Like I said, some of these people, I thought they would just think it, but they just went ahead and wrote this publicly. This person, Jacqueline Marsaw, wrote, I don't condone violence, but please get you some shooting lessons so you don't miss next time. Oops, that wasn't me talking. Now, who is Jacqueline Marsaw? Jacqueline Marsaw is the staffer for Democrat Congressman Benny Thomas.
I don't even know who the fuck that is. But, man, it's crazy, bro. And like I said, if the scripts were flipped, everybody would be tripping on the fact that somebody just tried to kill Biden. But since it's the other way around, everybody's tripping on the fact that the shooter missed. That goes to show you that this society is nothing but evil, pure wickedness, demonically influenced energy. It's absolutely wild. Anybody who sits around and complains about the fact that the shooter missed needs to be in prison ASAP. Because who's to say that they won't be the next person to try it themselves? I mean, obviously they won't because they have zero balls because they're saying that shit behind a keyboard and not in public because they know that if they were to go out in the public and say that shit, they would get whooped and or die by a real patriotic American if they were to go out in the public and say that shit. That's the only reason why they're saying that shit behind the fucking keyboard is because they know that they're quote unquote safe behind the keyboard. Let a cyber expert, professional expert that supports Trump find out where any of these faggots are. Boy, they would leak their address so damn quick it wouldn't even be funny. But no, man, it's crazy. It's crazy. But I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up right there. Trump ain't gonna die, bro. He's not gonna die. He's too much of a G. You know, he knows what he's doing. Even though it might seem like he's doing a little too much right now with him going out, playing golf and being out in public still, he knows what he's doing. He's not going to die. He's going to be the next president. He said, I have to stay the fuck away from energy from now on. People weird. Man, that's 100% facts. That's 100% facts. He going to become the next president and they're going to be shitting themselves. They're not done trying to kill him, but this was only the first attempt. There's going to be more. This is the first part of the storm, and you got to ride it out. Trump's going to ride it out because that's what he does. Trump's a gangster. That's 100% facts. Trump's a gangster, and we rocking with Trump. Trump 2024 all the way. MAGA hat coming soon. You already know. I'm going to start wearing that MAGA hat whenever I get it on every stream. You already know. So with that being said, man, appreciate y'all for tapping in. Make sure y'all share with your friends, your families, mummies, aunties, and grannies, and everybody else y'all know. I'm going to go ahead and get this outro pulled up real quick, and we're going to dip.
All over fucking USA, and I'm done with all this shit. I'm cool off all this fucking talking shit. I got a whole team to represent. I don't want to do none of this. I never did want to do any of it. Fuck this nigga and fuck his team, bro. I'm out. I gotta go. Scrap with yourself, motherfucker.